Hello, this is Alec Kerr, the film critic for the Conway Daily Sun, with my Oscar predictions for the 82nd Annual Academy Awards airing March 7th, that's next Sunday, starting at 7 with all the red carpet stuff. I'm just going to go through the major awards, the acting awards, and Best Picture, Best Director. So first up, Best Supporting Actor, and the nominees are Matt Damon for Invictus, Stanley Tucci for The Lonely Bones, Christopher Plummer for The Last Station, Woody Harrelson for The Messenger, and the one I think is going to win, Christoph Waltz for Inglourious Basterds. For me, the first time I saw Inglourious Basterds, I've seen it a couple times since, just the minute Christoph Waltz came on camera, I was just like, we need to give this man an award. It's a phenomenal performance, and it's so charismatic and so charming, and yet he turns on a dime to just being this sadistic sociopath, and it's such an interesting performance. It's kind of a different take on Nazis, on the Nazi, kind of villain, because he is kind of likable, but then that almost makes it so much more uncomfortable because you're well aware that he's just gonna turn at some moment, and there's just something even more sinister about him because he is so charming. So I say Christoph Waltz for Best Supporting Actor. Alright, next up, Best Supporting Actress, and the nominees are Penelope Cruz for 9, Vera Farmiga for Up in the Air, Maggie Gyllenhaal for Crazy Heart, Anna Kendrick for Up in the Air, and Monique for Precious. Now, I haven't seen most of the movies in this category. I've seen Up in the Air, so that knocks out 2 of the nominees. But I haven't seen 9, and I haven't seen Precious or Crazy Heart. So I probably shouldn't even be doing these predictions. I haven't seen a lot of these movies, but I waited as long as I could, and unfortunately where I live, a lot of these movies haven't been playing yet. But just based upon everything I'm hearing, I'm gonna say that Monique is gonna win. She's on the odds-on favorite. I can't really even make my own prediction, like who I'd like to win, since I haven't seen 3 out of the 5 performances. So just because that's what everyone's saying is going to win, I'm going to go with Monique. Okay, next up, Best Actor. And the nominees are Jeff Bridges in Crazy Heart, George Clooney in Up in the Air, Colin Firth in A Single Man, Morgan Freeman in Invictus, and Jeremy Renner in The Hurt Locker. And again, this video is seeming kind of pointless since I haven't seen a lot of the films. I haven't seen Crazy Heart, as I said, and I haven't seen A Single Man or Invictus. But again, there's a big support and wave of movement, of force, of nature behind Jeff Bridges being the winner this year. And it's kind of one of those, good faith things like, oh, he's been such a reliable actor for so long, and this is a good performance. Might not be his best performance, but it's a good performance. Let's give it to him for this one. And from what I hear, it is actually a very good performance. I am looking forward to seeing it. I might be able to see it in the next few days. So I guess that's what I'm going to go with. Again, I'm kind of just reiterating what other people are saying, so I'm sorry if this isn't really that informative or interesting, because I'm not really being able to offer my perspective since I haven't seen a lot of the films. But I guess that's my Oscar prediction. Next category, Best Actress. And the nominees are Sandra Bullock in The Blind Side, Helen Mirren in The Last Station, Carey Mulligan in An Education, Gabourey Sidibe, of Precious, and Meryl Streep from Julie and Julia. And there's again, big kind of force behind Sandra Bullock winning. For me, this is kind of her Aaron Brockovich role. It might not be her best work, but the Academy seems to like when these cutesy actresses like Sandra Bullock or Julia Roberts do these female roles where they try to make a difference and save the world in their own small little way. And that's exactly what The Blind Side is. It's like those kind of roles and prostitutes are like sure things with the Academy. So it's probably going to go to Sandra Bullock. Alright, so that brings us to the biggie, Best Picture. And this is the year that we have it upped to 10 nominees. And I won't get into why that may have happened. I'll save that for the video I do on my thoughts on the presentation of the Academy Awards. So the nominees are Avatar, The Blind Side, District 9, An Education, The Hurt Locker, Inglourious Basterds, Precious, A Serious Man, Up, and Up in the Air. Now I don't get me wrong, I do really like Avatar. It is an amazing technical achievement and a huge step forward in terms of technology and in the whole 3D and film. But to me, it's not the best film of the year. And I'm really afraid we're going to have a repeat of Titanic, another film that, again, was a great technical achievement, but the film itself was kind of shallow. And Avatar is a better told film than Titanic, but I still don't think it's Best Picture material, and I really don't want to see it be Best Picture. Although part of me is afraid it is going to be a repeat of Titanic. The film the other two films I would like to see win would either be The Hurt Locker or Up in the Air, because both films are very much movies of the moment. Hurt Locker being a reflection of what's going on in Iraq, and Up in the Air just really reflecting the state of the economy, people losing their jobs, and both are excellent representations of their genres. A Hurt Locker is a fantastic, intense, suspenseful action film, and Up in the Air is a very light comedy in the vein of something like Preston Sturges and Frank Capra. And like those films, there is this undertone of an undercurrent of seriousness to them. That was what was so great about Frank Capra and like Preston Sturges. There was, and it wasn't heavy-handed, but there was some sort of theme and message to the film, along with the comedy that gave it a little bit of weight, and that's what Up in the Air is. It's a very funny film, but it also has some weight, and so for me, I guess the race is really between Avatar, The Hurt Locker, and Up in the Air. I would really like to see The Hurt Locker win. I think it is an amazing both technically extremely well made, but just really sticks with you, and by not being preachy, really does say something about Iraq, and I would love to see Catherine Bigelow win Best Director, because I think it was a huge step forward for her in terms of her direction. I mean, she'd done a lot of solid action movies like Point Break, and but this was just so much further above what she had done previously. Like, I didn't even know she had this in her, and so I would love to see her win Best Director. And let me look at the other nominees. Quentin Tarantino hasn't won for Best Direction, so maybe they would go that way, but Inglourious Basterds is just so bizarre that the Academy's probably going to stay away from it, and they'll be able to honor it by awarding Christoph Waltz, like I said, and I think that's the way they're going to honor that film, is by giving it to Best Supporting Actor. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Academy Awards this year. I will be back next week with my thoughts on the actual ceremony, and so yeah, this is Alec, and keep watching.